Viewer listener discretion is advised. The majority of the content of this program is not fact-checked, and it is highly advised that it not be used for teaching your children from said content, other than making an example out of the hosts of what they should not grow up to be. Remember this, it's the beer talking.
Welcome to the truth about beer.
Hey, sit back.
Crack open your favorite brew and pour it into a frosty mug.
Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Yes, thank you. I'm Keith Davidson.
And I'm Papa Joey Stay.
And we're your hosts for The Truth About Beer and...
Yeah, we're a podcast and YouTube channel where we get to talk about all the crap that we're interested in.
And best of all, you get to do it while sharing a brew amongst friends. Hey, and if you're a returning listener or YouTube watcher, thank you so much for coming back.
Yes, thank you. But if you're a first-timer, well, thanks again.
Yep.
Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And don't forget, on the bottom of the YouTube page, there's that little notification bell. Make sure you click on it, because what that'll do for you is our new episodes.
Yeah, you'll get an alert every time we release a new one.
That way you won't miss out on it like today's episode.
Yeah, and we're really excited about today's episode.
Yes, we are. We hope you enjoy it.
Yes, we do.
Everybody, cheers.
Cheers.
So here we are.
We're here already.
Oh, wow.
That's already episode 203.
203.
I can't believe that. It's the truth about beer and
The Undead Rising.
what does that mean?
What does that mean? I suppose we're going to talk about the undead.
I think we should toast first.
I think we should toast to this. This great beer we got.
It really is good beer. We've had experience with this beer.
Well, we had an opportunity to sample it. So the reason I chose this beer is because the last couple of episodes we've done.
Can we see it okay on
I think we could see it. It's called Dead Guy Ale.
Dead Guy Ale?
Which is very appropriate for this episode. Ooh. So the one thing I like about Dead Guy Ale is the fact that it's offered in both cans and bottle.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. So I was wandering through Bevmo, trying to find a good beer for this episode. Yeah, I said, hey, do you have anything with dead people on it? Guy looked at me kind of weird, but then brought me to this beer, and I was like, ooh.
It definitely has a dead guy on it.
And they actually have the smaller bottles too, so you can get a 6-pack of cans or bottle. I just I got the big bottle, so we can sample it and see what the difference was. And you and I determined that there is a slight difference between the can and the bottle. And
there really is. And that's something we learned in our episode we did last season at Santan. That they only do cans because they say it preserves the flavor better than a bottle does. And so we decided with this one, we're going to see if there is a difference. And
there was a difference.
There really was a difference.
It was subtle, but there was a difference.
Yeah. I think number one was the bottle was more fizzier. Had more carbonation.
Yes.
Yeah. So it lasted longer on my tongue as a fizzle than what the can does. But what did you think about the can versus the bottle as far as the flavor?
I think that the bottle had more of an aftertaste than what the can did.
More of a bitter aftertaste.
Yeah, bitter aftertaste. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too.
And I don't know if that's the byproduct of having the light go through the bottle versus the can.
That bitters it a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really caramely tasting. And is Rogue the bottle or the brewer?
The brewer, yeah. So it's Rogue Ales, and they're based out of Newport, Oregon.
Oregon.
So it's a deep honey in color, rich beauty flavor, and a well-balanced finish, which in the can, I agree, it does have a well-balanced finish.
It does.
So what I found interesting about this and reading about it is it's in the style of a German Maibach. And I hope I say that correctly, Maibach. If I don't, then I'm from New York, so I have an excuse.
Well, I know it's not your Bach, it's my Bach.
It's Maibach. But one thing I found interesting on here is they say it uses free-range coastal water. My question is, what the hell does that mean? What is free-range coastal water? They go out in their cans to scoop up some ocean, and that's it? Free range?
Yeah, the water. I think most coastal waters are free range.
I would think.
They go where they want to go.
Unless you're in a canal, but I wouldn't want to use that kind of water.
No, so maybe that's it.
So it's got, Jesus, I can't even read that. 6.8 alcohol content. And it's got an IBU of 40.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that bitter.
No. But that seems a high IBU compared to what we've been doing, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more bitter in the bottle than it is in the can.
Right.
But
Does that have something to do with the light that affects
could be.
I would think so.
So you say they're from Oregon?
They're from Oregon, Newport, Oregon.
I like Oregon.
Have you been to Oregon?
I've been there several times.
Well,
my wife was born in Oregon. And
that would explain why you've been to Oregon.
Yeah. And coastal wise, been to Seaside, which is a beautiful place. I love it there. I drank beer sitting on a guy's porch that had, his house is built, the backside of it's on pylons.
Okay.
And when the high tide comes in, he's got a high tide comes in and rolls in by his place.
Really?
Yeah. And it's kind of like when it's not high tide, it's like a bird refuge. It's really beautiful out there.
I was going to be a smart ass and say if it's not high tide, it's low tide, but I'm not going to go there.
But yeah, I love Seaside.
Yeah, you know what I liked about I've been to Oregon too. I've been to a town called Beaverton, and took a trip to the coast. It wasn't too far from there, but growing up in New York, I grew up on Long Island. You're surrounded by water, all around water, and
water, but
water.
It's the Atlantic.
It's the Atlantic. Yeah, Atlantic versus Pacific. But the good thing is, you go to the little I call them seaside towns. So you go, they have all the old buildings, and then it's right on the water. So you're actually walking down the dock as you're walking by the old buildings, and I think that's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to watch the fishing boats come in. They're offloading their fish, and it's just a really neat thing to see.
I'd love to live on the ocean or by the ocean.
By the ocean?
I just really like it.
There's a lot of shit that happens by the ocean, though.
I know. But it's like where life began.
It is.
I like to be close to life as opposed to being...
death?
Yeah.
Which happens to be about our episode. Wow. That's amazing.
That's crazy. How did we segue into that?
A hell of a segue. Cheers to life. That's what I got to say. Cheers to life.
Yes.
So I would talk about the undead. So an undead, were we talking about ghost or something?
Well, it depends on the culture, I guess.
True.
I think we're talking about zombies. Hit the right button.
That was good. That was because you have labels on it now. We can actually see.
So it helps because usually I go,
Oh,
I usually hit the wrong button.
we don't ever mean to hit that one.
No.
Well, hey, give a round of applause for Joey hitting the right button. There we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And me,
Our studio.
let me. No, I wasn't done yet. I want to absorb this just a little bit longer. Yeah, thank you.
Everybody
Thank
gets
you
a
very
free
much.
can of Road Dead Guy, whatever it is. Anyway,
Everybody in the studio audience here tonight
that's one
does
person.
get that.
Anyway, I love it. It's great.
Me too.
So, so let's talk about dead people. I mean, zombies.
Zombies are. Where did? How far back do we have to look to see where zombies really came from?
Good Lord, you got to go way back.
In fact, you could go back as far as 1800 BC.
Holy crap, that's far back. That's before my time.
Just a little bit. Yeah. There's some. This was actually chiseled in rock. I mean, this is ancient Sumerian text. So it's an old rock tablet.
Kind of like the Ten Commandments.
That had a story or whatever, a tale or an epic. Well, it was an epic. It was called the Epic of Gilgamesh.
I have to read that now.
Yeah. You can get it translated in English.
You can. Is that on Amazon?
Probably. You can get everything on
Amazon. Why not?
But I know in the Epic of Gilgamesh, they talk about, whoever the first person is on this. I didn't make the note of that one. But he says, I will rise up the dead, and they will eat the living. The dead will outnumber the living. 1800 BC.
Now that's scary.
That is scary. I mean, if that doesn't describe a zombie, I don't know what does.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
I will
think,
outnumber the living. That's scary to think that could actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, what is it that makes zombies so scary and so relevant in our culture and all that? It's just,
I think, if you look at mankind in general, and I think even when we did the episode with my dad, we talked about this a little bit. We touched on it. Now that I think about it, we talked about the natural human fear of death. We fear death.
Yeah, we do.
That's one of our biggest fears. In the end, what happens? Because we don't have the answers. So
no,
we fear death.
We don't know.
So, but I think in death, we fear death, but even more scary than that would be
the dead rising.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it's supposed to happen.
Well, I mean, there's a, in most religions you have the resurrection or whatever, but is the rising of the dead, but that's kind of like the good dead.
Yeah, but not for nothing, but Jesus didn't come back and decide to eat people.
No, he didn't.
I think he was still eating fish.
No,
I don't know.
He was like the anti-zombie.
He was the anti, for sure. He was the anti-zombie.
He was the good version of the zombie. But yeah, we death is such a fear for everybody, but to think that something could come back from death is scary. I mean, that's like, we're scared of ghosts,
right?
Or most people are scared
most
of ghosts.
Most people are afraid of ghosts.
Yeah.
But do you think that stemmed our culture to focus so much on the zombies? I mean, we tracked in our culture, we tracked, movies back to the early 1900s, but so what you think was based off of that tale, or do you think it stems from other cultures?
Well, I mean, other cultures have, probably every culture out there has some version
of the zombie, right?
Of the zombie.
Right.
Going back to like old Arabia culture, they had the Ghoul. And the Ghoul was, I pretty much believe the Ghoul was only a woman. And this woman would have been a female that was kind of naughty in life.
Ooh.
So a lot of them are maybe old, to be politically correct. That's easy for me to say. Politically correct.
That's
We'll call them sex workers.
That's the dead guy talking there. Prostitutes.
I like that. We'll have to use that term. That's the dead
That's
guy.
the dead guy talking, right? I like that. Quick.
So yeah, the Ghoul, they were females out in the desert that would appear to be damsels in distress or whatever, and cry out to some passerby in the desert on their fine camel, and then that knight or whatever would hop off their camel and go to try to save the damsel, and then the damn damsel would eat his face or something like that.
We live in the desert, so ladies, I'm telling you right now, if you're stuck on the side of the road, better call 911 because I'm not stopping. You might be a ghoul. That'd be kind of freaky.
Yeah. And remember Ghoul.
I'll remember.
I think we'll bring that up again.
I'll make a mental note of the ghoul.
The Ghoul.
Okay.
And then
the ghoul sounds kind of cool. It's a cool ghoul.
Ghoul. Sexy
ghoul.
death thing. Ooh.
I don't think I'd be putting on Instagram, man, you're a sexy ghoul. that ain't gonna work too good.
No, I meant to say girl.
Oh, yeah. Ghoul.
It just came out Ghoul.
So that guy talking again. Sorry, I meant to say girl. Say ghoul.
And then, like in Nordic mythology, there was the Draugr.
Ooh, that sounds ominous.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool name. Why don't we hear more about Draugrs?
Oh, are they extinct? Or are they?
Well, the Draugr was another undead that came back to take the living out. But the thing that was different about the Draugr is from today's normal zombie type of thing is the Draugr was aware of what they were. And they delighted in it.
So they had a conscience.
They did. They had a conscience, and they liked it. They liked eating flesh. They liked killing people.
Wow. Sounds like
it was fun.
Sounds like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ooh, yeah. Modern day zombies.
Right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
I hope not.
Draugr?
A Draugr.
I like a Draugr.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool name, and it's kind of like a dry lager.
That's a Joeyism.
It could be.
Another Joeyism, Draugr.
Oh, here. Would this work? I know.
When you talk about a Draugr, it dramatically changes the idea of
a zombie.
Of a zombie.
Oh boy!
I got to be honest with you. By the time season 4 rolls around, we're gonna have a whole dictionary of Joeyisms, right?
Publish that.
I like that.
Oh man! Never mind.
What?
We'll come back to that.
Okay. Well,
in another season.
Oh really? We're pushing it out to another season.
Well, you never know. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a few seasons to come up with a full dictionary.
That's true. Good point. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll circle back. So you guys will be following us by season 4, and we'll we'll have the Joey's and dictionary. Okay. Sorry, but we digress.
We do. We usually do that.
Yeah.
And here we digress clear back in the Nordic mythology period, which is the Norse. Isn't that the Norse?
I was just going to ask that because I'm not really familiar with mythology. I kind of lost that in high
Norse
school.
Mythology.
Yeah. Norse was the wasn't that half man, half horse? Wasn't that the guy who had that was
Pan.
Oh.
right? Wasn't that Pan that was?
I don't know.
It's very popular with the ladies.
Peter Pan? Oh, different Pan. Sorry.
Oh boy, we better not get off on that one.
No, I laugh at those commercials. What commercial is that? Where is it Motor? No, Motar. Looks like the Norse guy. You ever see that? The guy on the motorcycle. He's half man, half motorcycle. Sorry, it just reminded me of the Norse. If that's what it is, half man, half horse. I don't know. Anyway, well, sorry.
Let me go
back. What was
that.
Your point?
Well, no. So, I mean, back in mythology, this I didn't know. There was Cronus, who was a god.
Yep.
And because Cronus, when he was young, he killed his father so that he could become the god.
The god.
And so, as he started having children, he would eat his children or his boys, so that none of them could follow in his footsteps and overtake him. And it wasn't till I don't know, probably them old mythical gods, they all had more than one wife, I'm sure.
I'm sure
they had multitudes. But the mother of Zeus, she kept it secret that Zeus had been born.
Ooh.
And so that's where Zeus came from. Zeus took out Cronus to become the god.
Zeus is the one with the lightning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody knows about Zeus.
Apparently,
I think so.
I was guessing.
I mean, he was
he was
a very popular.
He was the man.
He was the man.
He was it.
But yeah. So I don't know if Zeus ate his children though or not.
God,
Keep that from happening again.
I hope not.
Man.
I don't think so, because we wouldn't have the constellations we have right now.
That's true. He would have ate them all.
Right, we would have ate them all. If we'd have one star in the sky, that'd be it. Sorry.
Where did we get off?
We're talking about the Norse.
We did talk about Norse.
Yeah.
Well, so let's move forward.
Okay.
17th century.
Okay.
So the old country. Probably most of us are from our ancestors are from the old country.
We migrated.
Yeah, 1700s, and that person or that entity was called the Revenant.
Ooh.
And so really the Revenant is really closely related to what we see as our present day zombie.
Okay.
So the Revenant would come back from the dead and devour as many living as they could to turn them into the undead.
Wasn't there a movie called The Revenant?
There was. Leonardo DiCaprio.
I didn't see him eat anybody, though.
No. And did he really die?
I don't know.
He dug himself out of a grave.
He did die eventually.
Yeah. But before he became the Revenant or that character that was a vengeful character, right?
I'd have to go back because I don't remember that part of the movie, but it was a while ago since I saw it. Okay. So I'd have to go back.
I didn't actually see the movie. This was all from the trailer.
Oh, you got that from a trailer?
Yeah, I got that from the trailer. Yeah, so I saw that he must have pissed off a few people and they decided to do away with him and they buried him. And he kind of came back to life. And
he got his ass kicked by a bear.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
I wouldn't want to mess with a bear.
No, I wouldn't, especially, you have to watch the movie. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched the movie, but the bear came out ahead.
So I don't think he was a real zombie in it, but it was the premise of him coming back from the dead.
Life. Gotcha.
Coming back to life and taking out his revenge on those that did him ill.
Well, you know what, we talked about in one of our episodes, our paranormal episodes, that what you are in death, you are in life, or what you are in life, you are in death. Same thing. So, if somebody pisses you off in life, you're probably going to come back pissed off too, I would imagine.
Well, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
Could happen.
So, I I think the culture I missed talking about was the Chinese. They actually had the name of their, just because it's in the fold of my paper. I missed it because it's right here. It's right here in the fold.
And make note, everybody take notes. We actually have notes this time around, so we're prepared.
There. It's no longer in the fold of the paper.
Not in the crease.
That's the reason I missed it. But that was the Chinese. It was the Zhongxi. Zhongxi. Which they called that, and that's the reason I said earlier, when you asked if it was a ghost, and I said depending on which culture it was, because in the Chinese culture, Zhongxi is a hungry and angry ghost that returns to devour the living.
So, if you kind of go back to the mythology, what you first stated, it's kind of along the same lines, isn't it? I mean, they come back to and it says the dead will outnumber the living.
Oh, clear back from the epic of Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, yeah. So that it's kind of the same. So there's some consistency there.
There is, and so I mean, the Chinese were so they believed in that so much that. When they prepared their dead, they went through the, they bound them up in ropes and, kept them so that they couldn't get loose. And in later years, they ended up cutting their hearts and their livers and all kinds of things out of their bodies. They're dismantling their bodies.
So I was going to say, some cultures went as far as completely dismantling the body so they couldn't come back.
So they couldn't, And it's funny that, throughout other cultures, I believe even, in the Revenant period, if you will, they would go as far as when they removed a dead body from a home, because most people died at home in those days, is they would carry him out of the house feet first.
I saw that. So then they can't.
So they can't see where they're coming from.
Right.
And so that way they can't return. And some cultures went as far as actually, if someone was carried out of their home, they would close up that door and relocate it.
Right. So they had That's right. So the dead couldn't find their way back in.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't want you eating my brains. So, and really, are we still that much different today? I mean, we bury our dead 6 feet underground in a cement vault,
or we completely burn them,
Right. But when we don't burn them and we're putting them in a casket and burying 6 feet underground in a cement vault, we still seal up and bolt close that casket.
Right, exactly.
Because we don't want them to get back out of there.
Hell no.
Come back. So I think it's, it's translated forward to our day. I mean, we still, we embalm our dead. We
make sure you ain't coming back.
Because that's scary.
It is scary. Well, I'll tell you what's even scarier than that is, all what we're talking about now, we're talking about the undead. We're talking about the dead coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
What about the cultures where they actually are zombies that are alive? They're not dead. What about Haitian? We talked about the Haitian culture, that through voodoo spells, they can make zombies. They can make somebody into a zombie. Isn't that even scarier?
Yeah, well, that is. And I kind of touched on vaguely kind of that in our Halloween episode I said what scares me more are things that are real, like crazy people.
We talked about movies. We talked
about movies,
right,
but I think, like I said, the monster movies didn't scare me so much as the psycho kind of movies.
Right.
Where something's real that could come back or could hunt me down and kill me.
Right.
But yeah, so your Haitian zombie is a real thing. A mindless person that's...
I think in that same documentary or somewhere I was reading that they would actually make zombies to work in the plantations. Did I read that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That right? Yeah. That they would actually, so basically make slaves, I guess.
Slaves,
so yeah. Make them into zombies, put them in a zombie state.
Take them out of any way, or take them away from being able to make any decisions on their own, and be in total control of the plantation dude.
Yep. Yeah, got to control. You know what else will make a zombie? Drugs. So stay the hell off of drugs. So there was a story probably 6 or 7 years ago that I read, and it freaked me the hell out because I was watching The Walking Dead at the time. So you can imagine it kind of made it a little bit surreal for me. But some guy in Florida, and I would love to find the article again, but was doing bath salts. And apparently he went batshit crazy and ate some guy's face off out in public.
That was some good salt.
If that's not enough to make you go, holy shit, we're in the apocalypse.
Well, yeah. Wasn't there an episode of The Walking Dead where Merle was talking about the blue meth?
Blue meth. It's all started by Walter White, right?
Yeah.
He started the zombie apocalypse. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, stay off the drugs.
Stay off the drugs. It's not good for you. Make sure you eat people's faces off.
But beer's really good for you, though.
Beer's good. Keep drinking beer.
Yeah.
Stay off the drugs, drink beer. That's our message. That's our public service for today. But I'm sorry, I can't even go.
We've been wanting to do this episode for a long time.
A long time. We have a fascination with zombies. We love it.
Oh, we do.
We love the end of the world. Bring it on.
Because we're so not prepared.
We're so not prepared. You'll find that out very shortly. But our culture for years has been fascinated by zombies. I mean, we live and breathe it. I mean, like The Walking Dead, the biggest story of all time. I mean, it's 10 years in the running, 11 years almost in the running.
Most popular series ever.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are fascinated by it.
Yeah. And I mean, it didn't start just a couple of years ago with the movies.
No.
You sent me a list this morning of zombie movies. And of course, movies, I don't know how far back they go, in the silent movies and all that. I guess that was around the turn of the century. Or
I think the list I sent you went back to the 1930s. But
yeah, it was like 1932 was White Zombie.
White Zombie was the
first one. But then that frickin' list, it was 16 pages long, and it only brought us to 2011.
2011. So since 2011, there's been other zombie movies. I mean, for sure.
Of course, the majority of those on there, well, maybe 1%. I recognized, names of them. There were some crazy ones on there.
We'll put that list on our Tatavian fan page, and that will entice you guys to go become a fan of ours. You get access to a lot of content that you won't normally see on our podcast, so that's definitely need to become a fan.
Yeah, you know what?
What?
Yeah, that's really cool. But no, there's that. So we have the first one was that White Zombie,
right?
So it was in 1932. It was 1959 that Plan 9 from Outer Space came out. I didn't realize that was a zombie.
I had no idea.
Type of thing. I've never watched it.
I don't even know what movie that is.
You haven't? That's one of the worst B movies that were ever made.
I figured
White
Zombie
watch
would
about the worst movies ever made. It was always Plan 9 from Outer Space. Very low budget.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that was a zombie movie, Teenage Zombies. And then I did find one that came out in 45. That was Zombies on Broadway. I mean, there's a party for you.
Zombies on Broadway.
Can you imagine that? They'd be out there dancing and parts of their bodies would start falling off.
We're in the money. It just fall
You
off.
could do the high kicks like the Rockettes and the leg would fly around.
Shooting off into the audience. Oh, that'd be a great little bit.
That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, I made a condensed list of what I sent you earlier because God knows you'd spend hours on the toilet reading that list.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't been able to really look at every title on here because there are so many. It just blows my mind.
It's unbelievable. So if you're not in the business of making zombie movies, you probably shouldn't get into it because there's so many titles out there.
I think I'll close that one.
I did close that one. Okay. Well, we'll go to the short list. So we'll talk about one that I think that sticks out in people's mind the most. And believe it or not, I have yet to see this movie, but I do plan on watching it after this episode, is The Night of the Living Dead, which George Romero came out in 1968. So October 1st, 1968.
Yeah.
The Night of the Living Dead came out.
And it's probably one of the first kind of cult classic kind of a movies
I would say,
that came out.
Yep.
You know, and really it's what defines what we see zombies as today. Were created in that show.
In that show.
And like I told you before, I was going to bring up Ghoul again.
Yes.
And remember Ghoul?
Ghoul.
Because George Romero chose the Ghoul as the name of his zombies.
How fascinating.
Isn't that?
Wow.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that too. I like that. So if we go back.
Really good.
That is really good. That's Dead Guy Ale by Rogue. So definitely have to try it. It's very good.
It could be French. It could be oh you. I don't know.
Oh, where did that go? That was at a left field. Such is our podcast. I love it. It's great. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, you never know.
You drink beer, anything can happen. So we got I love this title. I've got to find this movie just because of the title. So 1972, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. That's just a great title. That's something you'd find today, right?
Yeah. So is that like do you think the zombies are like dogs and cats, or what are they? I mean,
Come here, Fluffy.
What are children going to play with?
Right. I don't know. Apparently back in the day we played with dead things. I don't know. Maybe so. Then we have 1978, Dawn of the Dead.
That I've heard of.
I've heard of that. I've also I heard the comedic version of that, Shaun of the Dead.
I have heard it. I haven't seen it.
Which came out in 2004, which is a very funny movie. Pretty grotesque, but it was pretty funny. It was a good movie. The I don't remember what the actor's name is, but he played Scotty in the remakes of Star Trek. The guy who played
the
Scottish guy, yeah. He was great in Shaun of the Dead. He was funny. Oh, it was a good movie. Go watch it. It's a good Saturday night. Drink some Rogue beer, and yeah, you'll like the show. 1979, Zombie and Zombie 2 came out, which I'm guessing I didn't have a date on Zombie 2, but I'm guessing maybe 1980 because that was kind of the break there. Then 1981, The Evil Dead, and I guess the follow up to Night of the Living Dead was Return of the Living Dead in 1985. In 1993, we have the movie Brain Dead and Dead Alive. I'm not sure why it was slash like that, but then we noticed something interesting. So in 2002, we come out with a very successful series called The Resident Evil.
That's my favorite. That's where I got into zombies and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I've watched all of them. In fact, I own them all on DVD.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I need to binge watch them again.
I really enjoyed it. And I think it might be because of the actress.
Mila Jovovich?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
She's naked in one of them. Or a couple of them.
Most of her movies, she plays and she's naked.
But she wears it well.
She does. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, it is a family show.
Mila, if you listen to our podcast, we apologize, but you do look fantastic. So
yeah, no apology necessary.
But it was,
really.
it was a great movie. It really was. All the movies were great. They were really good. And the special effects were really good in it. I really enjoyed the series. I also really enjoy playing the video games.
Oh, the video games are awesome.
A lot of fun.
Of course, I haven't played yours, but I have the Resident Evil, the first version on the Wii.
The Wii?
I think it was 4.
Okay.
Wasn't it? Maybe. It's been a while since I played it, but I was obsessed with it for quite a while.
I'll tell you what, I'm a big fantasy nut anyway, as we all saw with the Star Wars episode we did. I'm kind of crazy when it comes to that. I have a great imagination, but I love the PlayStation VR. And I'm sad that they don't have a lot more games out for the VR that are worthwhile. You know what I mean?
A zombie one would be good.
But I'm telling you, that Resident Evil Biohazard is fun. It's cool. It puts you right in the middle of it. And there's nothing like being right in the middle of it. I mean, the first game I played on the VR was Paranormal Activity. And that was pretty wild. It was fun. But to be immersed actually in the game and be part of that 3D environment is just really cool. It gives a whole new meaning to playing video games.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I might get more into video games. I'm not a really... my hand-eye coordination isn't quite up to snuff. But maybe if I got put into a virtual reality kind of a world,
yeah,
I might learn pretty quick.
You might.
You
might, especially when a zombie's on your ass. You might just do it, yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
That would be cool.
It's a fun game. It really is. So then, like I said, we got Shaun of the Dead came out in 2004. The movie 28 Days Later came out in 2003. When you look at the cover of that thing, it's got like a disease symbol on it or whatever. It didn't remind me of a zombie movie, but I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen hardly any of these on here. As you know, I fall asleep during most movies, but I didn't sleep during any of the Resident Evil.
Wow. And you won't sleep through Shaun of the Dead if you watch that.
That
was really good.
It keeps you laughing.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, it was a good movie. One of my favorites came out in 2007, and I remember because I think I actually went and saw this on Christmas Day because it came out in December 14th of 2007. The movie I Am Legend with Will Smith.
See, and I didn't know that was a zombie movie.
What a great movie! It really was.
I never
movie.
watched it. I mean, it's been available for me to watch.
Yeah.
And I just haven't done it. And it's just a shame because I'm really a Will Smith fan.
It's a great movie.
But I didn't, if I'd known that it was a zombie movie, I would have watched it. Wow. So I guess I'll have to check it out.
That's your homework before episode 204.
Oh, man. Our plate's pretty full, 204, that's like next episode.
You can do it, as we talked about. 201, you can do it. You can do it. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, we do.
We're keeping busy.
We're very excited.
This is a great season. Then we got another one you said you haven't seen, was World War Z.
Like most of them.
That came out in 2013. But I skipped one. But 2009 came out in Zombieland.
Yeah, which is another satire type of one, isn't it?
Yeah, from my understanding. What's his name? Woody Harrelson's in it. Right?
Yeah.
Because it just came out.
I never noticed the original one, this one.
Right.
But I've seen so many advertisements for the new
one.
The
new one, yeah.
That, because, what's her name? Stone.
Sharon Stone?
No, not Sharon Stone. Never mind.
Alicia Silverstone?
No.
I'm trying to think of the Stone.
No, she was in, yeah. She's been in a lot of movies. Easy A and what's the newer one? It's a Broadway kind of a movie about Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, crap. It's good beer.
Dead Guy L. That's what it's all about.
Dead Guy, I'm almost there.
Did you see World War Z?
I haven't seen any of these.
That was a good one too. Yeah,
I actually, since I've gotten into The Walking Dead, it's pretty much just pulled me totally into that series. And
you're hooked on it.
Yeah. So now that I have a list of these zombie movies,
go back and watch them.
I might have to.
Rainy day Sunday, Not that it rains here in Arizona, but whatnot.
No, but sometimes it's too frickin' hot to even go outside. So that's
a good point. That's a good movie watching day.
Those are good movie watching days. So like from June 1st to
really, I was going to give it April, but hey,
pretty much somewhere in May, all the way through September.
When you live on the surface of the sun, that's the only thing to do is watch movies.
Those are all good movie watching.
Yes.
Days.
So a movie that I really want to see, and I'm going to have to rent it because it's got one of my favorite actors in it, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's Maggie, which came out in 2015. So apparently it's about his daughter that contracted some disease that turned her into a zombie or something along those lines, and he had to stay by her side and protect her or something like that. I don't know. I watched the trailer a long time ago, but
get down!
Get down! Get to the chopper! It's not a zombie.
It's not a virus.
I'm more intrigued because you don't see him playing in a zombie movie. You know what I mean? So I'm more interested.
Yeah, but really, some of the scenes in Terminator when his flesh starts rotting away.
Good point.
It does look like
after he's shot a billion times.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a zombie in those.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we love him. We love some Arnold.
Yeah.
So as we can see that zombies have been in our culture for a long time, and they still continue to be in our culture. And you brought up a good point in conversation that a lot of the apocalyptic movies have come into play after 9/11.
Yeah, I saw that statistic in that documentary on zombies,
right?
History Channel thing, and it said that more than half have been made since 9/11, and so given the size of that list, there's a ton that we don't have on our list.
But why is that though? Why? I mean, did it take 9/11 for us to realize, holy shit, we're vulnerable and something could happen? Or did it really bring, because I remember, back after 9/11 happened, I remember all the threats from the terrorists and everything. And I remember my dad calling me up one day saying, you got to go out and buy gas masks. You got to buy duct tape and plastic off all your vents and all that stuff because we're afraid of the bio warfare and all that stuff.
Anthrax.
So I guess it became a reality for us after 9/11 to say, holy shit, we are the United States, but we are vulnerable. It could happen. So do you think that's the reason? Do you think it's...
It could be.
Yeah.
I had a thought, and it was fleeting. Yeah. Well, I think our fear, it's coming back now.
Okay.
One of the biggest fears of zombies, and you feel it when you're watching The Walking Dead. When one or two zombies or walkers, whatever, show up in screen. It's like, no big deal.
Right.
You kill them. But as soon as a herd shows up,
you're overpowered.
Yeah. I mean, that my heart gets racing, and, that's what really scares me. And I think that could really go back to, even like Hitler's regime. The Nazis were just totally relentless. And they were a herd,
Yep.
Horde, that seized upon people, and I think that's kind of what scares us. So 9/11 happens, and we hear Saddam Hussein, has this million soldier,
weapons of mass destruction,
and he's got all these soldiers and all that. We kind of envision being overtaken, because sure, our weapons, that we have, guns or whatever, we can take out a few, but once we get overpowered by them, what good are the weapons at that point?
So that's where the real fear comes in, you're saying.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just, I mean, if you look since 9/11, it wasn't just zombies. Like you and I were talking a couple of days ago about, the series they had on TV, the Doomsday Preppers. So, they talk about, great series, by the way. If you get a chance, go see it. Go see Doomsday Preppers. It really is. It's a wealth of knowledge. Even if nothing ever happened, you still learn some really cool shit from it. But honestly, if you think about it, there's so many things that can be considered apocalyptic. I mean, not just zombies.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that show was catered towards that. Whether it was what they call them, EMP strikes or whatever it is, whatever trying to prepare us for it. But I think ever since 9/11, we realized how vulnerable we really are. We have the best military, but that doesn't mean, look at we talk about open borders. We talk about how people can just come into our country. Who's to say somebody can't bring in something, a dirty bomb or something like that up to our borders and let it off in a major city? It could happen.
Yeah. Well, you think about how much worse 9/11 would have been had they taken and flown those planes into our nuclear power plants.
Absolutely.
That would have
been disastrous.
That would have.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd probably be looking at, millions of deaths.
Yep.
At that point. So, but is that something that could still happen?
Well, look at us right here. We have a nuclear power plant 90 miles from us.
Yeah.
It's not very far. We're in a good spot. Talk about being prepared.
I'm not prepared at all.
We're not prepared. I mean, but we are, location-wise, we are. We're not in a city. We're not, where if something did go down, if you woke up tomorrow morning and the emergency broadcast system was going off, you can get out of Dodge pretty quick from where we're located.
Yeah.
So,
but if you have to leave and you're not really prepared, but you still grab everything that you think you're going to need to survive with, those supplies that you have on you, that's your lifeline right there.
Absolutely.
And you're going to want to defend that as much as you can, So how prepared are we to defend ourselves, to protect what assets we have?
True.
I'm not prepared at all.
But what is an asset? I mean, we know, we talk about what is necessary to survive.
Water.
Leave your damn blow dryer at home. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But water, food are the two essential things.
And some kind of a shelter protection of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're fortunate here in Arizona because we're in a valley surrounded by mountains. So we can get up to a higher elevation, which in a nuclear blast would be very helpful. A zombie apocalypse would be very helpful to get out of Dodge. But, we live in the desert, so we can get into a cooler climate where it's 20, 30 degrees cooler, where we can manage to survive and we don't need air conditioning, so to speak. You go up to Pace and you go to Flagstaff, you go to Prescott, you've got all those areas where it's, 20, 30 degrees cooler than it is here in the valley. So we have places to go. There's a lot of, as far as I'm concerned, uncharted territory here in Arizona. So, as far as getting away, now the question is, do you have the means to defend yourself? That is a question because, like you always say, somebody's going to want what you have.
Right. Eventually. You got to be able to defend it or to protect it somehow.
Right.
And how expensive is it to prepare yourself for something like that, to defend yourself? What are the essentials?
Are we talking zombies or are we talking about people?
Both. but for reality, we're talking about people.
We're talking about people, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, if you have stocks of water and water, somebody's going to want what you have eventually. It's going to run out. People are going to panic. They're going to know, you can't survive without water.
Right.
You have to have water.
And if they take it from you, then you're screwed.
Then you don't have it.
Yeah. So you got to be able to defend yourself.
So morality goes out the window.
It really does have to.
It has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So, since we're talking about zombies and we're talking about people, how do you kill a zombie?
Well, George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, and kind of forward from that is you got to take their brain out. You got to do something with their head. You got
to stop the engine from running.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah.
So, I consider myself pretty good with anatomy because I've studied it, but kind of hard to get through a skull.
Yeah.
So,
what would be your preferred weapon?
Wow.
For
my preferred weapon would be a gun. I don't have to get close.
Right.
I can penetrate a skull. But
what happens when you run out of bullets?
I was going to say, in reality, you're not always going to be in a situation where you can use a gun.
Yeah.
We've all watched The Walking Dead. What happens when you turn around a corner and there's a zombie right there? Or there's a person right there ready to take your water? What do you do?
Yeah. And I mean, even if you have more ammo, your gun only holds so much.
Right.
You have to take time to reload.
Right. And that's precious time.
That is precious time.
So you need something at your disposal right there. You need something that is, preferably that would be a multi-use tool because you're going to carry, if you're bugging out, if you're going somewhere, you're going to carry the least amount of stuff as possible.
Right.
So you want something that you can, use multiple times. So
I would think, Lucille's pretty sweet.
I love Lucille. Lucy!
But you would have to take the time to prepare a Lucy.
Yeah. Yeah, to find some barbed wire and a baseball bat.
Yeah, so that would take some preparation. But
I know something you can get pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And pretty quick.
It's like a baseball bat?
Oh, kind of like a baseball bat. You can swing like a baseball bat. It's kind of light and very inexpensive. And you can find it probably at any local hardware store. That would be the machete.
Wait.
The suspense is
I don't know. I don't know what to use. I don't know what to use. It's like,
wow.
But it is magic, though.
That's right. There you go. I like that.
It just doesn't sound scary.
So the good thing,
it should be like these two combined.
I like that. But if that doesn't look scary, I got a piece of plastic on there still. Sorry, it's pretty new. I haven't had to kill any zombies lately, so we're good. So it's got the serrated end of it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the blade end. So this would be good for stabbing, cutting off a head, maybe, if you got it sharp enough.
Yeah.
And then you got the serrated end, so you can saw a head off. I guess I don't know if you.
Well, let's say, somebody gets bit and you need to get rid of that bit part.
There you go.
You need to saw their hand off.
And you feel the teeth on that. That's pretty sharp.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's a sweet weapon.
Yeah. And honestly,
and how heavy is it?
It's not very heavy. Really, you can yield it and you can swing it like a baseball bat if you had to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So it's kind of like a mini sword, if you're not trained in the arts of sword.
If you're not a samurai,
then a machete would be the way to go. Very inexpensive. I bought this one at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, great place, by the way. If you want to get inexpensive tools, and they're a pretty decent product. I got this one for $7.99, I think it was.
Wow,
I'm telling
that is awesome.
You can have this today for $7.99.
Wow.
Go to Harbor Freight. This is not QVC. Anyway.
That's pretty cheap.
But it's good. It's got a little bit of reach to it. So, if your zombie is, look at that. We got some 3D shit going on there. But no, if that gives you a little bit of distance, but you're not always in a case where you can have some distance, so you might need something a little bit shorter, right? Something for that close combat. That even goes for humans, not just zombies. If you're gonna kill zombies,
yeah. Or if a person is deceased, and since we're all infected,
right,
before they turn, you could use this next thing to take care of them so that they won't turn.
That is true, and this is your everyday survival knife, and it does say survival knife on it. So I like the print. It's kind of cool. But this will do the same thing. Your serrated edge you can use, and you also have your blade edge. Also comes with your little toolkit in here, which is kind of cool, which has your compass, which
is very handy.
Navigate, and usually has a
lost
little package in it that usually has a sewing kit. I think it has some matches in there to start a fire, so that's great if you're
some fish hooks.
Some fish hooks if you want to go fishing. Yeah, so it's a great tool to have. Again, pretty inexpensive. I bought this one probably 15 years ago, so I have no idea how much they cost, but I would imagine less than $100. That's a great inexpensive weapon you can use, and I think that's good for close combat.
And you could shave.
That's pretty.
I guess if you want to shave,
you could. It'd have to be sharp enough.
Those times.
Yeah.
If your lady likes to have a nice, clean shaven person to snuggle up to at night.
I don't think your average Bic will be available in the apocalypse, so you might have to, go with what's available. But hey, we got a great weapon. I feel like I'm a sales pitch here. What's going on?
What is? It is a sales pitch.
I have a great weapon as kind of like a multi-tool, I guess, so to speak, right? I mean, this is...
Keith, why don't you tell us about this one?
We'll get a handle on this, baby. No. This is an axe, yes. Which they now... Did you know they have bars where you can go do axe throwing?
In a bar?
In a bar.
After drinking?
Yeah, after drinking. That's... Dang, I'm scared just holding it right here. I'm not trying to throw it.
I'm scared being next to you.
Right, exactly. But no, this is a great weapon. You got your blade, which would be good for cutting heads off or body parts if you need to, which they probably did back in the old that
would do some damage to a cranium.
I'll guarantee it would. And feel the weight on this sucker. You swing that baby full. Oh, sorry. You swing that baby full force, and that's going to do some damage.
Yeah. Wow.
And look at this.
That's sweet.
You got a nice flat edge on that side, so yeah.
You could grind some corn with that. Make some corn mash so you can make some kind of a whiskey.
Yes.
You got to have that stuff in the apocalypse.
Absolutely, you have to.
Yes.
Jeez, you can't live without beer or whiskey or some kind of alcohol in the future. Anyway, it's, great tool.
That is a nice tool.
It could be a hammer as well. Again, very inexpensive at your local hardware store. Harbor Freight, $5.99.
So we got $5.99.
$7.99.
$7.99. So let's say 6 and 8. So you got 14.
Let's say 30 for the survival knife. But being conservative, 30 for the survival knife.
But they also have one of those at
Harbor Freight's got one for $9.99.
So $30.
All right, so $30 out there. Hey, call this toll-free number. No, I'm just kidding. This is not QVC.
$30 out the door. You could have yourself pretty well equipped. Not equipped.
Go to Harbor Freight. Ask for the zombie kit.
They'll know what you're talking about.
Just to look at you and escort you right out of there.
Please, I need the zombie kit.
I need the zombie kit. Okay.
For under $30, you can have a machete, a survival knife, and a battle axe.
And if you ever want to see a padded room, tell them you want the zombie kit. That might be your one-way ticket.
We might be onto something there.
But I still go back to my original. I say, not only for the zombie apocalypse, but for just general defense. I don't want to get that close to a zombie.
No.
I don't want to be where
if you can avoid getting close, then you've got the advantage.
Of course you do. Yeah, for sure. If I'm going to defend my compound, it's not going to be with a battle axe.
Yeah, these are the last resort tools.
Right. This is the shit you're going to carry on your belt just in case, Yeah.
Well, that's for the sneak up behind zombie. Yeah.
I wish we had a zombie here to practice on, but we don't. So
something tells me you can create one.
Pretty quick. I still like the old-fashioned pistol. I mean, it's compact. It's pretty light. Buy a 22 round. It's cheap. and it does the job.
And you can carry a lot of ammo and it won't weigh a lot of poundage.
Heck yeah. You ever seen a 22 bullet? It's pretty small. And it's pretty readily available.
You can carry 50 rounds right in your pocket.
Pretty much. Yeah. You talk about 100 rounds of 22 versus a 9mm. 9mm equivalent size package would be 50 rounds on a 9mm. So half of your ammo. Now, if you're trying to take down a person, I don't know, 22 is kind of small. I mean, I know it does some damage.
It's good for headshots.
Good for headshots, yeah. Yeah. So, but I still have my favorite.
AR-15?
Yeah. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy.
That is what you need to defend your compound right there. Okay? That's what you need. You have distance, right? You want to shoot a zombie at 100 yards, you got the advantage. A little 22 is not going to do nothing at 100 yards.
Not a carrot compared to that.
No.
No.
So this is the way to go. This is the way to go. I think, anyway. That's just my opinion.
How many rounds will that hold in the magazine?
I don't live in California, so I have a 30-round clip.
What can you have in California?
I think 10 rounds.
Pansies.
That's going to go pretty quick. 10 rounds.
No, you go through 10 rounds pretty
Especially
quick.
if you're not a good shot.
I mean, that's what you can put in if you have a 9mm, you can actually,
it's 15,
what's the,
15 rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, because the Glock 19 will hold.
Is it 15? Or
I think it's up
10?
to, no, it'll hold more than that, won't it?
What? I don't know.
I don't remember now.
I'd have to pull up my clip to see, because I have a 9mm too.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what?
Whatever you can get your hands
In
on.
the apocalypse, you get what you have.
Yeah.
So,
What you have is the best thing you've got.
but you have options. That's the thing. You have options. The key to a zombie apocalypse is get the head, get the brain, kill the brain.
That's right.
Isn't that the overall consensus
That's right.
of that?
Yes.
So, however you need to take that head off, you do it.
And I think that would be the best thing, is to take the head off.
Right.
Because the head can't do anything on its own.
No.
It's not going to move. It's just going to lay there and go, the body might keep on moving a little bit.
I don't,
but it's not going to bite you.
Honestly, if I came up
What
on
you
a
going
head,
to do? Bleed on me?
honestly, if I came up on a head and it was going, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably step on it. I don't know. Something would be kind of weird, but But really, realistically, let's talk real now. Okay, what's the odds of a zombie apocalypse really happening?
Well, about 100%. No.
Okay, wow, that's that's it. Show over. We're good. Zombie apocalypse.
No, but a natural disaster of some sort.
But that's more likely. Yeah, I would say. But you really have to be prepared either way. I mean, our planet is so old that we don't know. We don't know what kind of cycle it has. We don't know anything can happen. Look, dinosaurs are wiped out by an asteroid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we're told.
It could happen to us. Now we have better monitoring systems now to know when something's going to bite us in the ass. But
but that's only really going to protect those that are in the know.
That's true. And if they don't want to tell us, then
it's like, hey, they might not have time to tell us,
right?
Or they can tell us and they go, well, if you're not prepared, then sorry.
Too bad. See you later.
Yeah. So that's what it's all about, is just being prepared.
But that's why I think that's why I love the prepper shows so much, because they give you great ideas, really. I mean, I think one of the episodes I watched I was fascinated by. They took like old newspaper, they'd wet it down and compact it, and they saved the old toilet paper rolls. And it looked like a toilet paper roll by the time it was done, but they would use it for kindling, for fire. A great idea. It was great.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. And I love Doomsday Preppers because at the end of the episode, they rate you on your level of preparedness, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they'd bring that show back.
That would be cool. I know I saw one that, dig through garbage, because there's a lot of good resources in garbage.
Yeah.
I saw one guy, he built a smokehouse out of beer bottles.
Really?
Just all kinds of bottles, Coke bottles, whatever. So
Right.
he had the butt end of the bottle facing out, so he'd lay the bottles in, it'd mud over them, but he made a nice big pit, smokehouse, all the way to the top.
Right.
So the heat would be contained in the bottles, but that also heat up during the day while the sun was hitting on them.
Right.
On that part of it, and just kind of make an oven kind of a thing that could work even without fire, I guess.
If it stored up enough energy, enough heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it wouldn't matter since it was a dome type of shape. It wouldn't matter what time or what season it was because it was always facing the sun. The open bottles.
Heat.
So yeah, it always get the heat.
So for all you home brewers out there, keep brewing because you never know. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think in the
That's
apocalypse, beer would be a commodity.
Very big commodity.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to bartering and all that, if you had beer and any kind of alcoholic beverage, it would carry a lot of weight.
You would definitely have to have weapons, though.
Yeah.
Because people would be trying to take that from you.
They definitely would.
So what? All right. So I'm going to ask you, Joey. In the apocalypse, what would be your choice of beer?
Well, kind of knowing what I know about bottles and versus cans, I would definitely stock up on cans.
But you just talked about the advantages of having bottles, though.
Well, you're going to find those in a landfill or
True. Soda bottles or whatever.
Yeah. They're going to be around. But
good point.
I think if it's for consumption,
can would be the way to go.
Can be the way to go.
Yeah.
And the aluminum from the can would also come in handy for different things.
Start a fire with it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build a Dutch oven, or not a Dutch oven. What do they call it? Maybe it is a Dutch oven.
Yeah.
Well, Dutch oven is what they put in the ground with coals and stuff. I know there's an oven. It's a solar oven, I guess.
With aluminum?
With aluminum.
Okay.
Yeah. So you let the sun reflect on the aluminum and
right.
Yeah. Make a nice cake.
I should probably do this. I want to open up an invite to all you preppers out there.
Oh yeah, we know you're out there.
We would love to do.
We know you like to be quiet.
We want you to be vocal. We want you to come to an episode with us. We want some preppers on this show. We really want to discuss because the reality is, eventually it may not be in our lifetime, but eventually something's gonna happen. It's only a matter of time. We talked about you mentioned the Yellowstone volcano.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of shit that could happen that could be apocalyptic to us.
Yeah.
So,
you have nothing to lose by preparing.
Right.
You have everything to gain if something does happen. So
you're going to be better than Joe Blow down the street that didn't do anything.
Absolutely.
So, if you're a prepper and you are passionate about what you do, come on our show. We want to do a prepper episode.
We do.
Really bad.
Not that we have a lack of content to have,
but it would be so neat to tie that in. We talked. We're not talking about zombies. We talked about UFOs last episode. I just think for the amount of stuff that can happen, I think having a prepper show would be just really good information for our audience.
And for us.
Yeah. I want to be prepared. I want to be ready. I got the weapons. I just need to,
Yeah.
So you're going to go shopping at Harbor Freight now?
Yeah, I'm going to go spend my $30.
I think so.
And be a little more prepared than I am right now.
Well, you got a knife already. You got a knife for the...
without a blade in it.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. I'm not going to talk about that right now.
Hey, it's for the Undead Rising. So I'm going to tell you. You got that. He's got a blade.
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
a knife without a blade. No, yeah. You need to be prepared. You need to be ready.
We do.
So whether, if you don't believe in guns, that's fine. I get that. I understand that. But there's other options for you. You have your axe. which is a good weapon. Multi-tool, we like that. You have, we're reviewing here with survival knife. Right, survival knife with the little kit inside, which has all your goodies. So if you're up in the superstitions and you can't find your way out, like most people hunting for gold, you can use your compass and find your way out. And then you've got the machete, which I've never owned a machete until this episode, which is kind of cool. And I got to say, it's kind of an intimidating weapon.
It is.
I don't know if I don't want to be pulled over on the street with it, but hey. Whoops. Hey.
I was glad that's empty. I'm still working on it. It's almost
empty.
gone.
And for the record, every episode I tend to spill a beer. Right?
Yeah, he's kind of clumsy.
I'm kind of clumsy when it comes to that. But I get so animated.
But he's more prepared. It's that nervous energy.
I get really excited about our episodes, you know. So
or excited energy. Yeah, there you go.
I need to have
and we got some really good episodes coming up.
We have awesome. This is going to be an awesome season.
It really is.
Awesome.
I mean, we're even planning some road trips.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. What do you want to go with that?
Well,
that's good.
That's a good one.
That's a good one for that. Yes.
I like that.
And, they're going to be fun. I'm talking a lot of fun.
We got some paranormal stuff coming up for you guys, too. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. That's more.
That's that sound. And we have stickers on there. I wish I could show you on the camera right now, but we don't have a cameraman, so I can't zoom in. But yes, we have stickers on our board.
So yeah.
No more hitting the wah, 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 wah.
Right. So Keith can tell me which one to hit, and I can hit it.
Right.
So give me one, Keith. What will it be?
Crickets. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. We are prepared. We have notes. We have, what is going on here? It's the apocalypse.
I don't know. I guess we're starting to prep.
It's the end of the world. The truth about beer is organized. It's the end of the world. Oh shit.
My God.
I'm telling you.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yes. It's good. We have a great season lined up for you guys. We really do.
Yeah. Invite your friends and everybody to join us, because it's going to get funner and bigger and crazier. And did I say funner?
Funner. You said funner. It's another Joeyism, but I like it. I like funner. Funner is good. You know, I got to say, honestly, you know, this is our second season, so we're still pretty new at this, I would say. But I think the one thing about us that I really enjoy is that we have our YouTube channel, which so people can see the craziness, right, instead of just hearing it. But then we're featured on so many different platforms, and
we just added
three more, and I don't even know the names of them, to be honest with you. But you know, it's just we're growing, and it's awesome. It's so much fun because we get to, you know, I said a long time ago, I don't want to talk politics here. I don't want to talk about crap like that. No. I want to talk about the fun stuff, the stuff that we enjoy, all the crap that we want to talk about. That's our intro.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's about. So we talk about paranormal. We dive into UFOs now, and I'm so, you know, Tim was great. It was a great episode with Tim, and I just think, you know, it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. I don't know about you, but I want to explore more. I want to do more with the UFOs. I want to do more with the paranormal. I think it's, you know, Vinny and his team are awesome. We have so much fun when we're with them.
We do.
So,
yeah.
I'm actually kind of nervous about our next paranormal adventure, but
yeah, it'll be interesting,
to say the least.
Yeah, and we really have to give, you know, props to all those that help us with this, with our podcast and show channel. It's not just Keith and I.
No,
you know, we've got our whole crew. We got Lindsay helping us with production, and
we have Rachel, who's our social media director, and she's phenomenal. I mean, she's really got us out there on, you know, Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram, and
yeah,
you know, it's been
keep everybody informed.
And she did an episode with us, which was awesim.
That was a lot of fun.
Really a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Jay, who's doing our webmaster.
Jay is the man. He really is the man.
He's the one that's got us on so many different formats.
It's incredible. I mean, he'll text us. The next thing we know, we're on another platform, and it's like, okay, cool, right on. You know, it's very cool. I mean, we're on every major platform that you can think of, and that's
and then awesome. We got BS Design, who's Michelle and Shaylin, who helping us with our attire, and we'll have more stuff that we'll put on our site that'll be available to you.
And if you guys want our shirts, you can purchase our shirts.
Yes, you can.
So just let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, this one's an extra large, and if you'd like this one, I'll sell it to you.
You can autograph it too. No, but real cool. We came up with the idea. We have a couples T-shirt, and I don't remember what episode that was. We kind of teased it a little bit, but we have 2 beer mugs on the back, and when you stand back to back, it looks like you're doing the cheers.
Yeah.
Like
that happens to be the one I'm wearing today.
Oh, is it?
I just have the. I don't remember. Do I have the first part of it or the last part?
You have the chi.
I have the chi.
C-H-E.
Yeah. So the other one has the ears.
You need the ear. Yeah, you need the ears.
So yeah, couples, you can walk down the street and people look at you and it'll say cheers and look like you're toasting.
And you know what's funny? We laugh about the T-shirts because the T-shirts are great. It's a great advertising thing, but it really is because we've had how many people come up to us and say, "What is the truth about beer?" And we go, "Oh, here's a card. Go check us out." The
funnest part is they say, "What's the truth about beer?" And they're not looking at the. I don't know if you can see it on here where it says and with the ... I mean, that's the operable part of it.
Yes,
that's what it's all about is the and part.
So we talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Absolutely,
whatever we're in the mood for. This episode happens to be the truth about beer and.
Undead Rising / zombies.
Well, as far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, everybody.
Cheers.
You're kind of empty, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
cheers.
Down now. But we'll cheers anyway. To the Dead Guy Ale. Don't forget. Great beer. Check it out. We'll see you guys next time.
Very tasty.
Cheers.
Welcome to the truth about beer.